So today we'll discuss about the final the HANA entire the important topics, important points, and also the few real-time issues. So that we will discuss now in the HANA administration side today, right? So coming to the HANA, we started as a HANA hardware requirement and HANA software requirements, right? Hardware requirement and software requirement here. So HANA, so normally we can do the greenfield installation. Greenfield means so for the fresh customer, we can install the new HANA database. Then on top of SAP application, so we can do that one. For the brownfield, brownfield means migrations. Migrations means you have already data in some other non-HANA databases, non-HANA databases. So if you want to move this to the HANA database, then so there is a conversion or migration related activities we may have to perform it. It's not the fresh installation. It's a fresh installation, but even though there is a specific sizing methods we may have to follow, specific sizing methods. So to get the main thing is for a HANA RAM size. So the RAM size is very important for HANA administration here. The RAM size, the RAM size is very important for the entire HANA administration part here. The RAM, getting the RAM size. Greenfield, either Greenfield, we have only SAP Quick Sizer tool. SAP, the Quick Sizer tool, we can use it to perform this one. For the brownfield, so we have multiple methods here. One is the in SA38, we know there is a /SDF/HDB underscore sizing report. The second method is the DB scripts. DB scripts also we can use it to get the DB size. Also, we can get the and SAP Quick Sizer tool. SAP Quick Sizer tool also we can use it for the brownfield implementation. Greenfield, one is fine. That is for the SAP Quick Sizer tool. So brownfield, so three ways we can, if you use this one, we will get the estimated RAM size. If you use the DB scripts, we will get it out. Quick Sizer tool, then we will get the things here, right? Either any method you can use it to get this sizing of the RAM and everything. Why? Because here the first and most important point is for HANA. So estimating the RAM size. Why? Because HANA is a in-memory column-oriented columnar database. It stores the data in the columnar way, in the columnar tables, right? This is the way. So after that here in the green field, once you got the RAM size, based upon the RAM size, we will get the file system requirement, how many CPUs we required, all those things we will get here. The file system requirement, So all those things we will get from the system. So the main thing is here, getting the RAM size here, taking the RAM size here. That is the very important here, right? Taking the RAM size. For taking the RAM size here, the first thing is here. Taking the RAM size, first thing is here. The so RAM as part of the hardware requirement. Once you got the RAM size, then we will get the how many CPUs we required, then storage specifications, how much storage, then file system requirement, what are the file systems we required here. For HANA, the recommended file systems are /HANA CSR, /HANA shared, then /HANA data, then /HANA log, then /HANA /USR SAP. So these are the 5 types of file systems which we required as part of the HANA installation, mandatory file systems. Apart from that, the OS related things are like /var, /temp, slash log, then slash home, then slash swap. So these are the OS specific file systems. OS specific file systems are required here. OS specific file systems. These and all the should be mounted in the your HANA database. Should be mounted in the HANA database here, right? So here the Linux team will mount it. You no need to do. And storage. So storage requirement. So how much space means root is the 10 GB, then USR SAP is the 50 GB, then slash HANA shared is the 1 into RAM size, 1 into RAM size, then slash HANA data is the 3 into RAM size, 3 into RAM size, then slash HANA log is the half by 2 of half by 2 of RAM size, or max 512 GB we can take it out. Why? Because the logs are all logs are every 15 minutes, every 15 minutes the logs will be moved, log backup will be happen, so it will not fill the file system. In case of log directory got full, what is the next action item? That is the one. So that's why SAP go with the 512 GB backups and logs. Always we have to monitor this, all those things here, right? So based on that, we can get it out. If the RAM size is 1 terabyte, then how much space you required, you can calculate it. How many CPUs we will get it out, we can get it. Why? Because each CPU, so if it is the physical CPU, 14 GB of RAM memory, it will handle it. RAM memory, it will handle it. It's the one CPU 14 GB, two CPUs 28 GB. So like this, here we need to check the how much RAM and all those things we required here. These are the things we required here. Each CPU requirement, how much is required. So these specifications we required here. Okay. This is a CPU requirement part. How many we required? This you will get the information here, right? This is the HANA initial discussion, which we discussed the HANA hardware requirement, software requirements, all those things here. So HANA, we have to install specific to the HANA, we have to install only on the Linux boxes. Linux means either SUSE Linux or Red Hat Linux, we have to install it. SUSE Linux or Red Hat Linux, we have to install the HANA data, HANA, right? So then operating system. So, and also the hardware is certified hardware vendors, certified hardware vendors here, certified hardware vendors, we have to do that one. So the hardware which we have, that should be certified by the vendors. Like vendors means we have the Intel, Fujitsu, Dell, IBM. There are the multiple vendors are there who will so give the hardware. Then we have to procure the hardware there from them, right? So then there should be a certified hardware vendor. If you Google it, there is a site will come there. We can know what is the certified hardware vendors and all the information we will get from SAP, right? So this is about, then after that we discussed about the HANA installations, right? HANA installations. HANA installation can be done using the HDB LCM tools. HDB LCM tools. HANA installation we have to do it from HDB LCM tools. So this HDB LCM tools SAP introduced. Previously we used to do the HDB INST command, but now HDB LCM tools in HANA 1.0 SPS 10 onwards, SAP introduced the this HDB LCM tools. SAP introduced the HDB LCM tools. SAP introduced. So if anything, here we need to from here onwards we need to use the HDB LCM tools, either three ways, either the command prompt mode, either HDB LCM GUI mode, then HDB LCM web browser mode. We can use these many views we required, waves we have to do the SAP installations here. We have to do the HANA installation, sorry. Okay, HANA installation we have to do it here. This many waves we have to do the HANA installations here. Okay, so here, so So when you're starting here, HANA installation, we have to use the root user. Root user only we have to do it. When you are using the HDB LCM, it will ask the inputs like SID, instance number, right? Then system user, then HDB LCM, sorry, and the SID, ADM users are getting created here. These four are the main we can install it here, right? So this is the DB level admin activities. This is the operating system level admin activities. We can do it here, right? So and also HANA, we have the two edition HANA. We have the HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0. We have here, right? HANA 1.0 and 2.0. When you are HANA 1, there is a difference, right? Independent house, and also we have the apartment concept, like that multiple concepts we discussed. HANA 2.0 is a multi-container. 1.0 is the single container, which means when you install the HANA database, there is only one database that is called the standalone database. But when you install the HANA 2.0, it's a multi-concept concept. Then here, multi-container concept. Here we can install the multiple HANA databases on one host. Means once you install the DB software, we can create the multiple tenant databases. We can create it. Multiple tenant databases we can create it here. Multiple tenant databases we can create it here. So one is called the multiple tenants, which means by default, you will get the one system DB plus one tenant DB you will get when you install the HANA 2.0. On top of that one, if you want to install it, we can install the, so we can install the up to, so 19, up to 19 TDBs we can install it. Total in one host, total 20, right? One system DB, total tenant database. But by default, you are getting the one, right? Apart from that, 19 tenant databases we can install in one host, right? 19 tenant databases we can create it. Just to use the SQL query, we can create it. But here, the main thing is the memory. Memory should be required. Main RAM memory should be required to perform this one here. Once the HANA installation is done, then there are the 7 core HANA processes will come into the picture here. 7 over HANA process come into the picture here. One is the, so name server here, and so index server, HDB index server, HDB name server, HDB daemon, HDB preprocessor, HDB web dispatcher. So then, so we have the access engine. Then, so we have one more thing is the compile server here. So based on this, we will get the multiple process we will get from the SAP here. Multiple process we will receive from SAP, right? This is the one we know we should be required here, right? This is the one, right? Multiple process we should get from SAP here, right? So name server, index server, daemon, preprocessor, web dispatcher, access engine, compile server here. So here each process has their own responsibility that we discussed already. Here the main is the, here this will be, then here in the 7 process, index server is in the tenant DB, then access is in the tenant DB. Remaining 5 are in the system DB here. Here the main data will load only on the tenant DB here. Data loading will be in the index server. Here index server is the main process here. Index server is the main process here. All the data resides in the index server itself. All the data resides in the index server only here. So index server will do the all kind of work here. Index server will do the all kind of work here, right? So that is the index server responsibility. Index server responsibility here. Okay, the name server and index server responsibility here, right? So name server, the topology like landscape related information, it will hold it. So index server, all the data loads, calculations, everything will do in the index server here. The daemon is the process which will check if any out of any process is in the error status or faulty status, then that will go and clear it here. So web dispatcher, taking the browser-based request will hand over to the access engine. Access engine will process the browser-based request and etc. here. Compile server, compilation of the programs and stored procedure. By this, each each process, each HANA family member has a own responsibility to handle the this kind of things here, right? After that, we discussed about the HANA Studio administration part here, right? HANA Studio admin part. And as part of the HANA Studio admin part, so then how to monitor the all the process, how to check the versions, how to change the parameters, all the HANA Studio administration tabs we discussed, right? How to do all those things we discussed about the HANA, right? And also we discussed about the how to stop the HANA database, HDB stop, then HDB start. So how to do all kind of things we discussed about the HANA, right? This is the one we discussed. So how to check, how to do what is HANA, so how to install it, how to uninstall it. So all kind of things we discussed in the here. We discussed all those things we discussed, right? So after that, so using the HDB UNST or HDB UPD is for the HDB UPD for the upgrading the HANA database. So uninstallation for the uninstalling the databases. So all those things we discussed, right? Then HANA Studio entire administration part we discussed. HANA Studio administration part we discussed here. Initiate DB backup. Okay, just let me initiate the backups. There is a backup activity which I am doing. Okay, I'm back. Yes. So like this, HANA Studio administration part we discussed how to change the configuration of the parameters and how to take the trace and all those things we discussed, right? In the configuration tab, in the performance tab, overview tab, and we have the landscape tab, alerts tab. So all those things. So we have discussed in the during the administration part here in the HANA Studio. So main important things in the HANA database is the HANA delta merge concept here. HANA delta merge here. So delta merge is very important here, and save point mechanism. So these all are the internal mechanisms. Save point will happen every 5 minutes once the save point happens. Data will be moved from the your disk to, this is the very important concept here, delta merge and save point. So each and every table, there is a two main storage areas here. One is the delta storage and main storage in the RAM in the HANA database here, right? So whenever any data is coming, first the data will be executed here in the delta storage, right? Here delta storage executed. Why? Because delta storage is read write compression mechanism is happening. so that it's a write is there. So here directly it will write it to the here. Once the compression is completed, then we can go for the right compression is completed. Once the transaction is committed here, once the transaction is committed here, data will be moved to the from here to here. Data will be moved to the delta storage to the main storage. The data will move to the delta storage to the main storage here, right? So that is the very important thing here. So once the transaction committed, only data will be moved to the main storage here. Here, the main storage operations are very costly here. Here we can only, so here we have actual data resides here. Actual data means all the transactions committed data will resides in the main storage here. Along with this one, new data which is coming to the database, it will commit the here, then it will go to the main storage level here. Once the transactions are here, then it will go to the save point. It's go to the OS level folder here. That is called the /HANA data, /HANA log folders are available here. /HANA data and the /HANA the log folders are available here. So this procedure is called the data. Once data move to the here, then data will come back to the here. Then this procedure is called the save point mechanism. This procedure is called the save point mechanism. This procedure is called the save point mechanisms here. Okay, so that is the this will happen every 5 minutes here. Save point mechanism means moving the data, committed data from your main storage to main storage to this is in the main memory, main storage to, but because HANA is the in-memory concept, means every data will store into the main memory itself here. So if once the transaction is committed, it will move the data to the in this it will move the data to the save point here. That is called the data folder here. That is called the save point interval. So here, why we cannot directly write means here you have not only new data, you have already the committed data already available in the form of tables here, right? So what will happen if anything wrong here, so then it will impact the your existing data also. It will impact the your existing data also here. If anything wrong, it will impact the existing data also here. So that is the reason we cannot directly write into the here. Here first we delta storage we have to write it. Once the transaction is committed, it will go to the main storage here. It will go to the main storage here. That is called the so this is called the delta merge and save point operations. This concept is entire HANA database will depend on this concept here. Okay, it's a very important. We can also manually perform it using the this one we can also manually perform it here. So if you manually perform, that is the force merge. If your application is performing system, that is called the application merge, smart merge here. If you're manually performing, that is the this is the force merge, smart merge. So like this, we have the types are there, and also partitions. Also, we discussed about the partitions. Partitions means we discussed about the partitions like so in the HANA there is a concept is called the partitioning the tables, partition. Okay, partition means if any table has more than 2 billion records, then we have to go for partition. We have to go for partition here. Means splitting the table into the smaller chunks. Okay, that is called the partition. If the 4 billions are there, then we can go for split into the, so we can go for the partitions wise, we can split it. So that is the standard rule from the SAP here. So we have the partitions means we have the range partition, round robin partition, and also hash partition. They have 3 types of partition methods are there, right? So merge partitions, we have to perform it manually. Merge will perform it automatically. In case of changes are not reflecting, then we have to perform it. So automatic manual merge we have to perform it here, right? Then everybody knows about the how to stop the database, then how to start the databases, HDB stop, HDB start with SID ADM. With SID ADM, we need to execute this command. Or SAP control command also we can execute it here. SAP control -nr instance number, then function, then stop system SID, stop system SID, start system SID. So like that we can use the so this commands we can use it here. Stop system SID, start system SID. We can use the commands either HDB stop and start, or this one we can use it here. Okay, this is the this is the stopping and starting partitioning. So everything we can do it from the either queries we can use it, or to do the partition, or HANA Studio we can do the partitioning here. Merge will be performed automatically. Save point also will be performed automatically. The main important thing is the studio administration is the most important administration part which we have to do it here, which means how the database, what is the versions, and also how the CPU utilizations, how the memory utilization, all kind of things we may have to check it out here day-to-day versions here. We know in the HANA Studio in the overview tab we can check the disk space and CPUs and memory, all those things we can perform it, right? So that is the things we should remember and as a part of the important points here. Then backups and recovery. So we know backups we have the 3 types, and recovery also we have the 3 types here. So backups means we have the full DB backup and a complete backup, full DB backup and a complete backup, and then incremental backup we have here. Recovery means we have, so full DB backup means taking the full system backup, but complete backup, full backup are both are same. Complete means it's a full only, right? It's a full only here. Then there is a differential backup here. So differential backup and incremental backup is required. After the full backup is completed, we have to take the differential or incremental backup. We have to take it out, right? So here full DB backup and differential backup here. So incremental backup means once the backup is done, last 24 hours, if any changes here, like whatever the changes are happened, that data will be backed up. What happens if you don't have the backups? If we don't have backup, we cannot restore it. We cannot recover it. So there is a inconsistency. Something is happens, the database got corrupted, then we are in a situation to unrecover it. So if you have the backups are there, we can recover the data to the up to that particular timestamp, up to point in time recovery, and up to data backup. We have the 3 types of recovery procedures are there. We can use any one recovery procedure here. Okay, so that is the backups and restore. Here main important thing for we need to remember about the HANA backup and restore. So if you take the backup, suppose source version is this one, target version is this one. So if you take the backup here, you are restoring it on the lower version compared to the source, it cannot be restored. Either source and target version should be same, or target version is larger than, means higher than source, then backups will work, backup and restore will work. Yeah, that is the reason. One of the thumb rule you need to remember about the this one here. So while restoring source, you are taking the backup of the source, you are doing the restore it and some other systems. So then that other system should be higher than source. That other system should be higher than higher than source here, either the same or higher than. Okay, that is the backup and restore time which you need to remember here. And also the replication side, replication also very important point here. Replications also very important point here. When you are doing the replication, so we have the 3 types of replication modes and operation modes. 2 types are there here, right? We have the log replay, delta data shipping are the operational modes, and replication modes are the, so we have the, so like synchronous, sync mem, asynchronous here. So here there is a thumb rules like, so both the systems should be both the SIDs and the instance number should be identical. Then host name should be different. Both the systems are up and running. Then we can configure the replication between the primary and secondary. So normal takeover, we can do it, but if you want to do the automatic failover, there are the cluster tools. There are the some cluster tools here, cluster tools here. There is called the CoroSync and the FaceMaker. CoroSync, FaceMaker are the tools which will be helpful for to move the cluster resources from one to another. Means suppose you have the HANA database is running on the primary and secondary. This is the here one host HANA, second host or HANA. Here data service are running here. Suppose in any case, here the CoroSync FaceMaker will always check the whether service are available or not. If everything is okay, then if that's fine. If not okay, then your HANA database will be switched over to the secondary. Here this will be the primary, this will be the secondary here. Like this, it will do the all kind of things and everything here. Right? That is the primary and secondary concept here, replication modes and operation modes. So here the replication modes also, source and target should be the same, or it should be the higher, right? It should not be the lower here. That is the one. Replicating means source version, target version should be same, or target should be higher than source, same as like backups. Then only the replications will work. Otherwise, replication will also will not work here. That is the rules we need to follow when you are doing the other backup and recovery or replication modes, and that is we can use it. So data provisioning technique. Data provisioning means to provision the data, to pull the data from the non-HANA databases, SAP level. So if you want to do that configuration, so SAP level, there is a SLT concept for the data provisioning. In the HANA level, we have the data provisioning concept. So we can just map the connection and we can perform the data provisioning activities. We can hold the data provisioning activities, we can perform it. Right? So these are the important topics which you need to remember. Apart from that, so let me walk you through the some of the real-time scenarios which we will normally we face it here, right? Real-time scenarios here. Sometimes, let me put the charge. Okay, so here, so some of the scenarios, sometimes we may face the log directory, HANA log directory full situation here, log directory full situation here. So in this case, what we have to do here, log directory full situation. So in this case, we are in the situation, the backups also it won't run. Why we have the log directory full situation means, so log backups folder is full or backups are not happening. That time log backups it won't happen sometimes. So then the drive will be full. OS level / HANA log will be full. If the log directory is got full, HANA will not commit any transaction. If the HANA is not committing the transaction, any transaction, then definitely application also will be hung status. So in this case, what we have to do, in this case, we have to, so either free up the space. First of all, we need to check the if any log segments are free. Means if any free log segments are there or not. If any free log segments, if yes, then we can use the reclaim command. There is a reclaim command, alter database reclaim log. There is a command which we have to use it. It's a command which we have to use it here, reclaim command. If that command also you used it, then there is no issues. Still we have issues means, then in this case what we can do, in case still issues, then what we can do here, so we can we can check if any space available, any free space in available available directory. If any free space, we need to check it out here. Available directory, we can need to check it out. If any free space in available directory, we need to check it out. OS level using the this using the df-h command, we can use it. If any free space here, right? If any free space, we can check it out. The df-h, we can check it out here, right? So that is the one thing here, right? So the next thing which want to check it out here, like if the free space is there, then so create a soft link to the that that free space directory which is there. Create a soft link to the that mount point, soft link to the free space mount point where it is available. That we have to create the soft link here, which means they will use the ln-s command. You have to use it here, right? Once create the soft link, then then we can bring up the system. We can restart or bring up the system. We can restart. We can check whether the blocks are moving to the folders and everything is moving to the target directory. If not, we can restart the system. Before that, check the, yeah, we can restart the system. Then we can fix the issues here. So why? Because instead of in the same directory, it is going to the different directory here. When you create the soft link, the files will go to the available directory. It will go to it here. So this type of action items we need to take it out here. So then the next one, sometimes what happens, HANA index server crash situations here, crash related issues here. What happens when the queries are in the longer time, the queries are running, the longer time query. Sometimes in HANA database level, queries will execute very longer time here. So that time, so HANA index server will crash sometime. If the index server will crash, application will disconnect. So if the application is disconnect, then users will log out from the system here. Users will log out from the systems here. That is the one thing we have to check. HANA index server crash related issues. There are multiple reasons HANA index server crash. One is because of the long running SQL statements. Sometimes backups. When you are running the backup, sometimes the backups may take very longer time due to the less memory. Then backup encryption will take the lot of memory. Then we don't have enough memory. Then the time your index server will crash it out. Then sometimes the long running save point and the delta merge operations also, you will get the out of memory related errors. So there are the multiple reasons for HANA index server crash. So backups are, so your OS level, some process, rogue processes, something like that, which will can create the some some negative impact on the our HANA system here. So that time HANA normally in the index server will crash when we don't have enough memory. Enough memory, index server will crash it out here. If the statement memory related things, we can configure the statement memory limitation parameters, right? Backups, we can disable the encryptions, right? So if any long running statements based upon the issue, we can fix the issue. So HANA index server will crash sometimes here due to the backups or There are the multiple reasons also here, right? So sometimes what happens, so name server also will crash it here. This same. So normally when the process will go dead status means when we don't have enough memory at file system level. So that time the process will go hung status here. The process will go hung status here. So that is the one thing we should be checking here, right? That is the one thing we should be required, right? So that is the index server related issues. Index server related issues means either backup, either long running statements, either different reasons here. But every reason we have the, so there is a HANA trace directory at OS level, right? Everybody knows this one. Go to this trace directory, check the log files, and you can see what's happening in the system. All kind of things we can see it here, right? So these are the some common issues: log directory full situation, index server crash related situations. Sometimes what happens, so sometimes what happens, so after the OS upgrade is done, HANA it won't start due to mount points missing. Sometimes due to the HANA file systems missing, HANA mount points, that is called the HANA mount points missing options. HANA mount points missing. So in this case, we can work with the Linux team to allocate the mount points here, drive slash HANA data slash HANA log folders here, right? And HANA file system full issues here. File system full means so data and everything we can increase it here. Only log directory full situation we have the log data directory full. HANA will go down. Then we have to we have to extend the space. In the cloud, right? Dynamically they can extend it immediately. So that will be resolved here, right? Then sometimes HANA stop and start issues here. Stop and start issues. When you are starting the HANA it won't start because of, so some commands are hung status because of the shared memory issues and all those things. HANA issues here. Sometimes HANA folders, HANA directories, HANA directories full situation here. So and yeah, sometimes what happens, application level, SAP level, application level, users will run long program, will run the, so long running statements, long running programs, which will cause the index server crash. So at any cost, index server should have the enough memory. If we don't have the enough free memory at operating system level, definitely SAP will go down. Definitely SAP will go down situation here. That is the very important thing we should be required, right? That is the one thing here, right? Like this, we have sometimes ports blockage. So port related issues here, sometimes voice level, ports related. Then, then file system corruptions, then performance related issues. Some performance related means long running statements, long running queries, long running programs at application level will cause the performance related issues here. And sometimes version bugs. So currently you are in the old version, no, definitely there is a some old version related bugs. So like this, so multiple things, every project we may face the multiple issues here. So always there is a monitoring in place. So as soon as, and sometimes a license related things here. So if the license is not there, license expired, definitely it will be locked. The many things are there in the HANA level to get the, so, but few are the common things here for every project: log directory, index server, mount points, file system field level issues, here, stop and start directories, and performance related issues. All those things we may get it out in the systems. Okay, this is about the, so HANA, some of the important questions which you need to remember. Okay, so I think I'm done today. I don't have any patience now. Yeah. So any questions, anyone? Anyone? Any questions? Maybe we'll connect some other day again. So we'll discuss more on that one. Anyone? Any questions? No questions, then we can stop.